Gallagher Guitars is 60 years old this year, and they are commemorating with a 60th anniversary guitar, and it's this one right here. This is the G-50, the way Gallagher Guitars got started.
Hey everybody, it's Jeremy and John from the Acoustic Shop from Springfield, Missouri, the heart of the Midwest. I don't know if that's true. Anyway, it is a beautiful town. Come visit us, guys. We'd love to see you. We are also home of the Dreadnought Guarantee, where if it qualifies as a Dreadnought Guaranteed guitar or mandolin or banjo, you have up to a year that you can make sure it's the right one for you, or we will find the one that is.
That's right.
And John, this is very exciting. We're talking about the OG right here.
The OG.
The original Gallagher.
Good job, buddy. The G-50. This is the guitar that started all of what Gallagher is about. This is the first guitar Gallagher ever made, the G-50. It was actually their standard model, and the one that JW got the entire company built on. This was the guitar that actually got the attention of Doc Watson. Absolutely incredible, and they brought it back for a limited run. This one is number 3 out of, I forget how many they're actually going to build. 20. They're only going to do 20. So it's even less than that, Jeremy. You got number 3.
It's a third of their anniversary.
Anyway, absolutely gorgeous guitar. They went back and they brought what they could of the original. It's braced more like it. It's done that, but they added some extra stuff like this really cool logo at top here, and actually put the original year at the 12th fret as well. This is a limited edition guitar, like we said before. Only 20 of these are going to be made with a price of $5,400. It does have a Sitka spruce top, mahogany back end sides. It does have the white ivoroid binding all the way around with black purfling. Has a vintage backstrip that is a little bit different. Rosewood bridge and fretboard, so that also kind of makes it a little bit different instead of the ebony. Now, along with that, they actually went back and tried to do a more similar bracing to what JW originally did. So this does have a little bit different voice than what most of the Gallagher guitars have currently right now.
And you said it's a white ivoroid binding, but it looks like it's been yellowed. Is this kind of got that age toner on it?
I'm not even seeing ivoroid. That's what they claimed as the specs, but I'm going to say it's more of a cream aged plastic binding, similar to the ivoroid, but a little bit different. They do put a toner on this Sitka spruce top. I do like the rosette as well. It's kind of a unique look. But here's the big thing. It's all Gallagher sounding. It's big. So, yeah, it's got a warmth that's a little bit drawn back. It's a very unique and great sounding guitar. So now let's get into the ratings of this guitar. I really actually like this guitar a lot.
Well, let's start with the sound, John.
Let's start with the sound.
How does it sound? What would you rate it? And this is, again, in like price range against all brands in a similar body style.
I will be honest with you guys and say this. When it came and they were going to do this, David called me and told me what they were going to do, and I was a little bit worried. There is a Gallagher sound of the original Gallaghers. It's not my cup of tea. They tended to be a little bit heavy built and not quite as open. Yet, so I was a little bit concerned. But when I got this guitar in, I was very pleasantly surprised. It has that vintage Gallagher sound in that it's a little bit drawn back. It's not in your face like some of the new ones that are done, but it still has some complex overtones. It still has some sustain, and it's a much lighter build than what they did. So the tone was a big surprise. I think if you're a strummer, this really feels great. May not have the punch and bite for individual string solos and stuff, but if you're just more of a pretty in tune sound, and it has a little bit more of that 70s vibe going on with a lot more, because again, that's where it gets me worried, is the 70s overall guitar tone. Not my favorite in the entire world. So that said, I think this really pays homage to that tone, brings it in, but with a much more bold and rounded ability. So I actually going to give this a pretty high rating. I'm going to call it a 4.7.
Yeah, I think I know you were skeptical at first because that era is not known for the best sounding guitars, and even Doc, when he played it, it had a different tone. It fit Doc's playing, but he's definitely close to the bridge and had that bitier sound to his playing. This, I think, brings a little bit, you can almost pay homage to that tone, but in the new modern, the improvements that they've made over the year come through in this guitar. So I'm going to give it a 4.8. I think they did a really good job in this price.
Build quality, it's a fantastic guitar. This is a Gallagher built as a one-off style build. They are hand voicing, hand building all the way through. They do a great job. Is it the cleanest guitar build I've ever seen? No, but it's a pretty darn clean one. And so that one, I guess I would put this one also in that 4.7 range.
Yeah, I think they did do an excellent job. They're really kind of getting their feet under them since David took over, improving things every time we see a guitar that's getting better and better. So I would give it a 4.8.
As far as the setup and playability, we did have to do some work on this one when it came in. We got it back. Actually, they actually did some work and got it back into shape. It was a little bit too low, and it was just a mistake in the overall setup. But right now, it plays well. It's on the low side of a great setup for myself, but I find that it's in a pretty good spot right now. So yeah, the playability on this guitar, I would also probably put this one at I guess I'm at a 4.7 on most of the things here today.
Yeah, I think setup was a little low, and I think it's still, even for my playing style, but definitely for you, it's easier for you to get a little buzzy on it. So I'm going to give it 4.6 on the setup.
There you go. The looks of this, it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. I actually like the badging. I liked the 12th fret inlay. There's one thing that I wish they would have done to bring back again on a 60th anniversary. Those original ones had the big giant Grover milk jug tuners. I would have tried to put the retro, and I mean literally as retro of a Grover tuner on here as possible. I know most people are preferring the open gear tuners, myself included. With that said, I'm going to give it a 4.5.
I think they did a fine job with it. It does have kind of that retro look to the mahogany and the finish on it. I really like the logo they chose for the anniversary inlay. It's attractive looking, but also says this is something a little different and special. So nothing really crazy and outlandish about it, but I think they did a really good job paying a tribute to the original, but also making it modern. So I'm going to give it a 4.7.
There you go. All right. We don't know a ton about the sustainability. I know that they do a pretty good job over there. So, Jared, are we going to let this one pass?
We have to confirm. That was our decision. Is unless we can confirm that they're FSC certified, sourcing the hardwoods, we're just going to err on the side of caution. Why not plant more trees than you need to?
Down with
It's
that.
always better to plant more than less. So we'll plant 5 trees for every one of these sold.
Now, pricing on this guitar comes in great. For a commemorative guitar, I think it actually prices pretty darn well. I think this is a kind of a home run. If you are a Gallagher fan, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't want this. This is one of the better sounding guitars that they built. I love the fact that even if you are buying the new Gallagher guitars, this is a different voice in a mahogany dreadnought. Even, you know, there's not only so much you can do with that. So I do think that is really, really great. So overall value at that price point, I think it's actually really good. I'm going to give it a 4.9.
Yeah, I agree. I think, right now there's definitely that undercurrent of American-built products, and this is an American company, American-built in Tennessee.
Small shop.
A small shop that's a small business growing and going through those growing pains of figuring out how to train new luthiers, how to get operations going, all the different things that are part of that struggle of being a manufacturer, doing it in Tennessee and making it happen. And the price really for all that labor and all that work and all those team members involved in it is actually really, I think, right in the ballpark. They could have priced it higher and they didn't.
Yep.
So I'd say I'm going to give it 4.9 for overall value.
There you go. all in all, I think Gallagher did a great job. I think this guitar, if you are a Gallagher fan and have been, if you're a vintage Gallagher fan, I think this hits your mark. It brings back enough of the vintage look and feel, sound, and also the new version of what is, which in my opinion is probably the best version of Gallagher, is what's coming out right now. I think that's who it's for. Any person in that middle ground wants to kind of pay homage to the old style, but also recognize that what they're doing right now is unprecedented.
Yeah, I think the person that maybe owned one of the original Gallaghers would love to have something like this, because it will probably feel a lot like the original, something they may not own anymore, but they remember having it, but more of a modern, full tone than they probably could have with that old guitar. So somebody that is familiar with it, or their dad had one, it's really a really cool commemorative piece for that. So I think that's the type of person that's just a huge legacy Gallagher fan would love this guitar.
Absolutely. As far as a guitar that I think this guitar does really well in comparing to, it actually is going to be another Gallagher. It's probably the Doc Watson. I mean, that's what we think of when we think of Gallagher. It has its own tone, but what's unique about this is it is a little bit of an offshoot from that. It does have the rosewood board, and the tone of it is enough different that it's something kind of unique and special that you could balance with a Doc Watson. So if you're looking at the Doc Watson, you're like, it's mostly there. I wish it had a little bit of, a little softer edge to it. I think this is a really good guitar for that.
There was a few years back that we actually got to go visit the Gallagher workshop out in Tennessee and see the way they're doing things differently now, kind of getting the shop up and running, and where they're producing these guitars now. And it was very cool tour to see how they're building these guitars. So if you guys would like to see that, make sure you click on this little link right here. And if you enjoyed any part of this, please put it in the comments, like and subscribe, and share this video with any like-minded friends you might have, or enemies. Yeah, ding the bell. Ring that bell.
No, don't do that. Anyway, yeah, absolutely. I hope you had fun with us. Great guitar, Jeremy. It's good sitting you and talking with.
Great conversation, John. I really enjoyed this.
We'll see you on the next video.